My name is Julie Davis, and I am the Director of Marketing and Human Relations at Just Right Home Care. The biggest inspirational role model in my life is definitely my mom. She has started lots of businesses and been successful as a nurse and a mom, and she really set the bar high for me to be able to succeed in anything that I tried. Thinking back, I would tell my younger self to trust your instinct, to really believe in yourself, and that there will always be people who aren't so trusting and won't believe in you, but if you believe in you, you can actually do anything that you set your heart and mind to.
My name is Rosemary Humway Warmoth, and I am the city solicitor for the city of Wheeling, West Virginia. Well, I know it might sound trite, but of course my mother, because she was widowed at the ripe old young age of 24, 25, had 3 children, 3 years old, 2 years old, and a 6-month-old. And we were raised with fantastic grandparents, and she instilled a whole lot in me in regard to trusting in yourself and doing things as a woman, especially back in that time, that was kind of stepping out of the box, if you will, that a lot of people didn't do at that time. And as she ran for magistrate and was the longest sitting female member of our state judiciary, which was quite a thing to have done, and to pass on that type of legacy to both me and my sister. And so I would think that definitely she is at the forefront. In regard to legal careers, I've been also blessed with my wonderful sister, who actually is younger but went to law school before me, and so she was quite helpful, as well as within the legal community here, lots of friends. And one of the leaders in that light was Mr. Bob Fitzsimmons, and he's been a family friend and mentor pretty much throughout my entire law school career and my career here in Wheeling. As I look back, and what I would say to my younger self would be, and as to any other young lady who is looking at those career paths, is never say never, because you never know what doors are going to be open to you. And you have to be ready at that time to step forward and step into them, because those opportunities may never come again. So I think never say never, and don't say, oh gee, I don't think I could do that, or oh, I could never do that, or how could I do that? Just, you have to I think, focus and say, given this opportunity, how can I make it happen? Instead of saying, it's not gonna happen, or gee, it could never happen to me. How can I make this happen? And really just kind of welcome it. And I think that that will help you to broaden horizons that you may not even know are there.
My name is Becky Schilling-Rodacher, and I'm the Executive Director at the Soup Kitchen of Greater Wheeling. Of course, studying through history, all the women who have stood up and done the remarkable, so that the women now can also stand up and keep forging ahead. But personally, I would have to say it was my mom, Vivian Schilling, and because she never missed a chance to volunteer, and I seriously mean that. She was a professional volunteer, and I was taken to Florence Crittenham every weekend to do crafts and help transport people to the movies, and we did a clothes closet. And she was always in the community, always volunteering. And if we were sitting in a restaurant in the middle of New York City, we were sitting there and somebody walked in a restaurant, looked around, and went right to my mom and asked her for a couple dollars. So she had that face. And I've learned over the years, I always tried to figure out why people would come to her. It's because she would make eye contact with people. Whenever we would walk into a room, a lot of people, if they see someone poor or destitute or really having a hard time, it's easier to look away. But my mom always looked them right in the eye and said, what can I do? So that was a perfect role model. And then ironically, she was a redhead, and my daughter, who's 34 years old, is also a redhead. And there is a certain type of personality that goes with the red hair. And my daughter, who was only 2 years old when my mom passed away, she embodies everything about my mom, about helping people and going above and beyond and not thinking twice about it. And I see her now with 3 a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 2-month-old. And she's so organized, and she's still nice to people. She's still nice after all that. And I think that's the key to kindness. It's just all the time. Don't like pour it on once in a while. She's genuinely a nice person, and she and my mom would have made a great team had my mom lived longer. I would tell myself to just forge ahead like I already have. I couldn't really change one part of my career with the soup kitchen, because in the last 25 years, it's been a different day, every single day, all different people, different food, different problems, different triumphs. I wouldn't trade one day. So looking back, I would say go with your heart, because I was an art major and I switched to criminal justice, and somehow I ended up at the soup kitchen, and I'm so happy I did. But if I wouldn't have had an open heart to be able to change majors, much to my parents' dismay, when I was a junior, I wouldn't have landed here. So I would have been who knows where. But I'm so happy. I think the main thing is to follow your heart, do what you want to do, because if not, you're never going to be truly happy.
My name is Jennifer Rohrig, and I'm the Regional Manager of Business Retention and Expansion for the West Virginia Department of Economic Development. My biggest inspirations were definitely my mother and my grandmother. They were both very fierce, strong, independent women. They were very involved. They volunteered in the community. My mom was a teacher, and they really just taught me how to stand up for myself, how to give back, and how to not be afraid of standing up for what I believe in, and I hope that I can emulate what they've taught me. If I could go back and talk to my younger self about starting in a career, I would tell her no one knows what they're doing, right? We kind of grow up and we think adults have this very clear picture of what's going on and what the path forward is. And I would tell her that no one really knows. We're all just kind of winging it, and to not be afraid, to definitely not be afraid to ask for help, to look for mentors around you, and really to be open to any learning experience and opportunity, and to always be kind. That's one of the things I'm most grateful for. You never know who you're going to meet later in life, and I would tell her that has served her well, and to continue to be kind to everyone.